Good afternoon, everyone. It is Stephen and Andrew from Pit in the Atlas. We have found another ghost town by the name of
Custer. Now Custer is virtually next door to Bonanza, and three gentlemen discovered a rich ore vein of gold which had been displaced by a snowslide, and that was back in 1876. By 1880, the Custer Mill, the General Custer Mill I should say, was formed. Now our first stop is going to be the little museum, so let's take a look.
So this little building used to be Custer's school.
And I have a fun fact about this. A note was found 80 years after it was written beneath the school during a restoration period. And the note said, Jeannie Smith, May Dellen, Lyda Pfeiffer, Stella McVitie, or McVitie, and Emma Mallam think themselves smart. They put them little kids up to that, and if that Sadie Smith bothers me, I will pound the stuffing out of her also, Gladys's, Annie and Josie.
Wow.
Yeah.
We are now going to venture into the museum with full permission to film.
So this was once the schoolhouse, and school was open 3 to 6 months of the year due to weather.
3 to 6 months a year?
Mm-hmm.
That's my kind of school.
Look at the old mangle and washboard. And do you know why this has got an indentation in? It's because when the washboard's at an angle, you used to put your bar of soap in there. That was the soap rest.
That was going to be my guess.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at the little pram. Doesn't say a date.
Got some wonderful memorabilia in here, the candlestick holders.
And as far as I can tell, all of the items in here have been donated and been found by the townspeople.
And the old doorknobs. Porcelain. Oh, here we go. There's some of the gauges of bullets. Great items all around. There's some axe heads and pickaxes. There's old snow skis. Oh man, look at it.
Is that a skate?
A roller skate. And these some of the lanterns on the miners' hard hats.
Now we could actually spend hours in here filming, but we won't be able to film everything.
Yeah.
Got to give something for you guys to come and see.
Yeah, we always try to leave a little bit of room for visitors to come and see everything.
And look at the old knives and forks with the wooden handles. They're long, long prongs.
Long tines.
And the graters at the back. Rind graters. And
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Cut my fingers plenty of times on graters looking like that. I'm kind of better now, but...
This place is amazing. Would you look at this stove? Look how intricate it is. The detail behind it.
Jewel stoves. That really is a jewel.
Isn't it just? So you've got these old irons. Oh, and is that an old-fashioned waffle maker? I believe it is.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Huh. Now, what's that? Is that an egg poacher? I've not seen one of those before.
Beats me. I don't really know my way around the kitchen too well. The utensils. That looks like something that would hold a spoon.
Oh, actually, it could be. It could be a spoon holder. You're right.
Ah, thank you. And now we've got to put a pin in the atlas.
I'm going to put mine from England. Just there. And America is the other side.
Kind of not surprisingly, but they've tried to take Los Angeles off the map. I guess I can't blame them, but that's where I got to put my pin. But I guess recently we could kind of put our pin everywhere, couldn't we?
Pretty much, yep, we could. Unfortunately, there isn't a Tonto.
No.
Otherwise, we could pin Tonto.
Yeah. Just behind the school, we have found these 3 graves.
Yeah, it was really sad. These 3 young daughters, well, it was through an avalanche. They got caught in an avalanche, which was really sad. All on the same day. Olga, Anne, and Josephine Johnson. And look how young they were. Josephine was only 4, Anne was 6, and Olga was 10. Can you imagine? I mean, that's a tragedy losing one child, but could you imagine their parents losing all 3 children at the same time? That must be devastating.
And this little building was the assay office.
Did you know that the assayer was one of the most respected people in town?
Oh, well, I'm sure he was probably the most popular. I tried to sweet talk him myself to make sure we got the best price for our ore. Then we'll go over, because of the glare, some of the tools of the trade, some ore samples still there.
And now you can see some of the little ore cups, how they used to
Yeah, where they would melt them down.
test the ore, because we often find these broken and scattered in mining camps.
Yeah, just the small fragments. It's very cool.
Look at all of the spoons and the
I know.
pans.
So that was very a detail-oriented job. This one right here is a very handsome little home.
Yeah, this is the Pfeiffer residence, and it was a family home for Ellen and Charles Pfeiffer from 1890. Now, Charles also managed the general store in town.
Oh, and it's already got my favorite type of wallpaper. Not this stuff, of course.
Oh, look, there's a map atlas on the wall. Shall we put a pin in it?
Where's the pins?
Oh, look at the tea set. Have a nice cup of tea.
That's really nice.
And you've got the Cadbury's chocolate biscuits. Oh, I love Cadbury's chocolate biscuits.
Velvet pipe tobacco. And then this is my favorite type of wallpaper here. The old newspapers.
Underneath the wallpaper. The wallpaper proper. Can you see any dates? Oh, there's a date. Just here, upside down. August. Is that August 24th?
August 21st, 1937.
What a neat little place.
It is, definitely.
Oh, you've got an old sewing machine here, I believe.
Yep.
Yes, an old Singer sewing machine. My grandmother had one of these. In fact, so was your grandmother.
Yeah, my great-grandmother had one. My mom does have that now.
And this, is this an old radio? I think this is an old radio. The old-fashioned radio. There's the tuning knob, and that's the speaker. It is. That's really neat. I remember seeing one of those on the Waltons.
Yeah.
Now, the next room. Ah. Well,
Looks like the washroom.
yeah, I
They've got an
wonder,
old wash tub in there.
yeah, I wonder whether or not this was a washroom, though. Would they have had a washroom back in the 1880s? I wouldn't have thought so.
I don't know.
Love the old tub though. Look at the old rocking chair.
Yeah,
That is
that's really
cool. And then, so this is a 4-roomed, so maybe that was.
And then in here would be the kitchen area. Look at that stove.
That's gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the old kitchen table.
Kitchen table. Look how they've put the legs together. And then the last room in the house, the bedroom. Very simple.
So you can see from the structure that the original building was just that single pitched roof. And then as the Pfeiffer family grew, they added an extension, an additional 2 rooms, which you can see the change in the roof line. And looking at that, that looks like the roof's made of metal cans, flattened metal cans.
Yeah.
And I believe they ended up having 4 children.
So here's the look around back. And there's also an additional add-on that we were not able to see when we were inside. What's in there?
We can't really see a great deal, but it looks more like a storage shed or a barn type thing, really.
Modern storage or?
Well, they've got some wood planks in there, but no, not really.
I don't know if we'll be able to.
It's too much of a glare, I can barely see in.
And dirt, yeah.
But. So yeah, can you imagine living in that small house with 4 kids?
Well, that's all they knew.
And then, I believe, shall we see?
I think it is.
Let's take a look. It is. Unfortunately, we can't get to it because it's so badly damaged, but it's a double one, complete with toilet roll holder. To the left, there you go. Perfect.
Now, this very large piece of machinery, I do believe, is the hoist.
You got the handle there.
Yeah, and then you see all the teeth on that. That's pretty unique. In there.
Well, this is a water wheel next to it. And you can see where the water would be.
Yeah.
Go up and come out. It was called the Pelton wheel.
A Pelton wheel, yeah. And now we are outside the blacksmith shop. So let's head on in and see what awaits us. Okay, I can see a old wagon wheel. Some of the steel rims you would put around the outside. And some of their old tools. That's a wagon axle according to the sign. More tools along the back wall, and I do see the plexiglass, so I'm wondering how bad the glare is going to be.
Is there any way we can put it over the top of the flexi and put it down? How's that?
There we go. It's like a little forge. So the hand cranks would blow cool air when they had the hot iron. Help cool it a bit, shape it.
Now I have a fun fact about the blacksmiths. So not only did they fix the wagon wheels and other metal things and shoe horses, they also pulled teeth before the dentist moved to town. True story.
Oh, wow. Now we're going to enter the Mackenzie residence.
Yeah, Kenneth and Lillian Mackenzie had 3 children, and this was one of the finest houses in Custer.
Oh, it definitely looks like it so far.
Wow. And all of the stuff in here, as far as I know, is original.
This is really nice.
This, oh, okay, so above here there used to be a stained glass window apparently.
I bet that was just amazing.
And it had 2 fireplaces. So nice and toasty in the winter. Look at that old Singer sewing machine. No, it's not a Singer, that's an Arlington.
And then next to it's one of those dress makers mannequins.
Uh-huh. And the rocking chair. This is so cool that you can actually come in and look at all of this stuff.
All the artifacts. Oh, I found one issue.
Oh, yes, they're all hanging upside down.
Yep, all their luck's running out.
We're going to have to tell Matt to change that.
And some of the old saws and machinery, hand tools, excuse me. There's more on here on the shelves.
This ghost town kind of reminds me a little bit of Ruby in Arizona, the fact that you can go in and look at all the artefacts.
Yeah, it does.
Although this one has got a lot more artefacts.
There are more in this one, yeah. Well, I don't think that Coca-Cola sign's original to the house.
Maybe not.
Still, nevertheless, it's a cool sign. Very collectible.
Look at this old stove again. Not as ornate as the other one, but still very, very ornate.
Yeah, and that's the thing. All these different makers, I mean, all the older things back in the day, you know, they just put a lot more work into them to make them last, make them look pretty, make them a piece of art. Some of the last few items in here, there's another. It's got 6 burners on the top of this one. And then a kerosene stove. We've seen one of those somewhere. Now I know what they are.
And then some more wood burners. And another little stove in the corner.
In the bedroom area. 2 beds in there. Is that a...
That was a straw mattress.
See the chair in the back?
Oh, that's a toilet. I can't remember what they're called. What are they
Is
called?
that not a chambermaid? Or what?
No, a chambermaid is the person that goes around and
But I thought that's what they ended up calling them because they
used
obviously...
to change the bedpans. I'll have to think of that. Now,
Somebody will know.
I've got a fun fact about the Mackenzie family.
Okay.
They were one of 3 families from here that attended the World's Fair in 1904, I believe.
The famous New York World's Fair?
Not the New York one, the St. Louis one.
Oh. And some dresses. In the master bedroom. Complete. With a crib. Time to look at everybody's favorite place, or at least mine, the saloon.
Now this is the Empire Saloon, and it used to be located up near the General Custer mine, but it was moved to this location and converted into a home. Let's take a look.
Yeah, we've teased it long enough. Time to go into the saloon.
And look, there's a cowboy.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you folks?
We're good.
We're doing wonderful.
Now, are you the sheriff in town?
I'm not.
He's not the sheriff.
Okay. It's a good thing. And now what do we have inside here? The gift shop. So I think, looking around, help support some of the locals, we're gonna get, oh, here we go. I think I'm gonna have to get myself a sarsaparilla. And shall we try a huckleberry?
We can try a huckleberry.
And then what else have we got?
I want to get some of these stick candies. So there's 5 for $1.
Old fashioned.
Yep. So.
Yum.
There's a bunch over there.
And one quick thing is this old cash register.
Yeah.
And they did say we could walk around the back and get the full.
That's pretty neat, isn't it?
That is really cool.
And they still use it as their cash register today.
And one more important fact, all the proceeds goes towards the maintenance and restoration of Custer Town site. So come here, buy some of this delicious candy and soda. We definitely recommend it. And this looks like just a one-room little cabin.
Actually, it's got 2 rooms.
Oh, I've been fooled.
Very simple. Very sweet.
Yeah. Probably very easy to heat up in the wintertime. Stay nice and warm.
Look at all those tins with the coffee and everything.
Old Hills Brothers coffee and
The rickety old bed.
mattress looks fairly new.
So this was just, yeah, a simple miner's cabin. They do have the horseshoe up the right way.
All right. Oh, and just here behind the door, some more of my favorite stuff. Old magazine adverts. You can see it gives you an idea of the canvas, how they would have done the canvas along the roof line here. Obviously that's not original. Then into the next room. Oh, we got some actual mining equipment. Some drills in the back. Another one on the floor, some tools, some wrenches. And then it looks like in this back corner, remains of a Pelton wheel. So imagine the age on that. So neat. And the rest is some old mining equipment and things from around. And we did find out that all of the mines in this area do still have active claims on them. And one more quick note about this little section. So this was a one-room cabin. As you can see, that is the exterior wall. So this little portion was just an add-on. What have you got there?
An old-fashioned candy stick from the saloon. It's really good. 5 for $1. So I bought 5. Support the local economy. So what are you swigging?
Oh, that's good. Old-fashioned sarsaparilla.
Yuck. That tastes like medicine.
It absolutely does not.
It's vile.
That's very good.
No, I don't like sarsaparilla. Sorry, people, but that's just my taste. What's the other one?
This other one is, figured since we're in Idaho, huckleberry.
Oh, like the jam that we bought.
Yep.
Huckleberry soda. God, it's a neat picture of the 4 little boys on the front.
Yeah, both of the pictures are really cool, old-fashioned. So,
So what does that one taste like?
let's see.
Good?
Ah, it tastes just like medicine, so you're not going to like it at all.
No, what, does it do? Does it really?
No, this is very good as well.
Am I going to like that one?
Probably not, so best to just leave it for me.
I'm going to try it.
Okay. All right, here we go. Taste test.
Probably, I might have spoilt the taste because I've been eating a tangerine flavoured sugar stick.
Yeah, not your cup of tea, is it?
Oh, that's really good.
Oh no.
I'm having this one.
I've lost my soda.
No, you can have the sarsaparilla medicine and I'll have the huckleberry old-fashioned soda.
When you're ready, this is going to blow out about probably 8 feet if we're lucky.
Okay.
So you tell me.
Do it on.
And ready. Oh yeah.
I mean, you'll feel the weight of the gun, but there's 2 clicks. One's right here, and then pull it all the way back to the second click.
Okay.
And keep your hands fully, arms extended. Pull all the way back. And it's light. The trigger is really light.
Ready?
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
You know about a black powder spot.
It just looks like dirt.
It is.
This is the road we have traversed, and we have found a very small cemetery.
Custer Cemetery only has 7 graves in it. Most of the people from the town of Custer were buried at the other ghost town of Bonanza because it was so close. But when the weather was too bad, or they couldn't get to Bonanza Cemetery, which was right up at the top of the hill, they were buried here. Let's take a look.
This one has a little bit of humor to it. Mr. Colonel H. Sprague. He was either 55 or 60, they don't know. Passed away from being overly drunk. At least he went out having a good time.
Yeah, unfortunately, snowslides were a major cause of death. If you remember earlier, those 3 little girls that were buried in town, they had died in a snowslide and their parents had been rescued. So not only did they have to contend with mining accidents and the normal sickness and illness, but also that.
Nature.
And this little chap, he was 7 months old when he died. And apparently he had Julian Thompson. He had difficulty in eating, and his mother found that by boiling a kettle full of water and immersing him in water, it would stop his seizures. And the story goes that one day she went to the kettle to find it empty because a visitor had used it to wash the dishes. She didn't have any hot water, so she rushed to the saloon, got the water, came rushing back, and unfortunately poor little Julian had already passed away. That's really sad.
Yeah.
And then this one here is another infant. Doesn't say what or how.
They passed.
And doesn't even have a name. And this is actually quite a large grave in comparison as
It
a
is.
baby, compared to Julian's grave. Another snowslide. T.D. Lomas, 1904. Oh, this poor chap, Henry Zeller, took his own life.
Oh, that's too bad.
And the last one of the 7, another snowslide, J.D. Davis. Again, doesn't say his age or anything. Died February the 12th, 1904. I mean, life up here, mining was a hard life anyway, especially right out in the middle of nowhere. But can you imagine having to deal with snow as well, especially when it covered your house?
Yeah, weather is the other factor that sometimes we take lightly. Like we say, in places like Death Valley, it gets absolutely scorching. And then places like here up in Idaho, up in the mountains, you know, you get 8 to 10 foot of snow. And that's like we say, the snow slides ended up taking a lot of people's lives.
So that's it for Custer Cemetery.
Just across the way there, you can see that huge ore bin on the side of the mountain there, just across the other side of the river. This now is all on private property, so we're not allowed to go and visit it. You can just barely make out over here, point out the cement foundations. That is all that is left of the 20 stamp mill.
So this was the General Custer mine, and this was really why the town of Custer was built, because originally everybody lived in the town of Bonanza. They built the stamp mill and hence the town was established. And this stamp mill was completed in 1880, I believe. And if you look up on the mountain, you can actually see, we were talking about the deaths of snowslides, you can actually see where a snowslide has come down an avalanche and has wiped out all those trees.
Yeah.
So can you imagine being in a house at the bottom of that and getting swamped?
Quite scary. That's going to do it for Custer Ghost Town. We do want to say a very special thank you to Matt and Jeannie. They are incredible people, very fun, very knowledgeable, and they gave us a lot of information.
Yeah, they actually look after the town. It is free to get in. Donations are accepted, of course. And unfortunately with Custer, although the buildings that are there are well maintained, there's a museum, as you saw, lots and lots of history. Unfortunately, a lot of the town was destroyed by fire, not just natural fires, but also that of the Forestry Commission, which is really sad.
It is, because these are pieces of history and they are slowly fading through the pages of time. And that's why we want to try and document as many of these as possible, because it is important to remember them.
And on that note, get out there, go and explore, put another pin in the atlas, and we will see you on our next adventure. Bye.